I always believed that my life was simply meant to be one of quiet devotion. Every morning, I awoke to the gentle drumming of rain against the window of my modest apartment in Maplewood, Pennsylvania, a small town that nurtured my humble spirit and sincere commitment to serving others at the local community church. My days were filled with prayer, service, and reflection, each moment carefully devoted to strengthening my connection with the divine. I carried a peaceful certainty that God had placed me exactly where I needed to be. That particular morning, however, began with an unexpected fragility. As I rose to fetch a glass of water, a simple act that had always been a part of my routine, an unaccountable weariness gripped me. My hands trembled, and for a brief, suspended moment, I felt as if time itself had slowed down. The cool water I so eagerly reached for transformed into an elusive mirage as a deep, disconcerting darkness began to envelop my vision. In one heartbeat, the solid, familiar world I had always known gave way to a weightless, disorienting void. I remember the sensation vividly, an overwhelming pull as if invisible currents were drawing me away from the very essence of my body. The comforting warmth of home, the reassuring presence of my daily rituals, and even the soft murmur of morning prayers all faded into a profound silence. In that instant, it was not the end but the beginning, a threshold between the life I once knew and a realm beyond mortal limits. As my senses dimmed and the darkness grew, I felt an inexplicable certainty that I was being ushered into something greater, something divine. In that fleeting moment of surrender, every fear, every doubt, and every earthly concern seemed to dissolve into a vast, unknowable space. I realized that the mundane routines of my past were only a prelude to a much deeper, transformative encounter, a journey that would forever alter the course of my existence. And just as the last vestiges of my physical presence began to wane, a spark of anticipation kindled within me, whispering that this was the start of a sacred mission. Before we continue on this remarkable journey together, I invite you to join our community. Please subscribe and leave a like if you feel called to be a part of this shared experience, a family of seekers united by faith and the promise of transformation. In the depths of that indescribable twilight between life and what lay beyond, I found myself floating in a realm that defied all human logic. I was no longer tethered to the physical body I had known all my life. Instead, I was adrift in an endless expanse of soft, enveloping darkness, a silence so profound it drowned out all the familiar sounds of the waking world. The sensation was both terrifying and strangely liberating. As I drifted weightlessly, a symphony of faint, mournful whispers began to echo around me. They came in waves, each note heavy with sorrow, regret, and an ancient longing I could scarcely comprehend. Though fear threatened to overwhelm me, there was also a stirring of curiosity and wonder deep within my soul. I reached out, not with hands, but with my very essence, yearning to understand this otherworldly chorus that seemed to both beckon and warn. Then, as if summoned by my silent plea, a gentle radiance emerged from the heart of the darkness. It started as a delicate shimmer, barely discernible amid the vast void, but gradually grew into an all-encompassing light that bathed everything in warmth and reassurance. In that luminous glow, I sensed a presence, a being whose love radiated far beyond any human understanding. This divine presence did not intimidate me. Instead, it filled me with an ineffable sense of peace, as if I had finally found the answer to the deepest questions of my existence. I recall the moment vividly. The dark tendrils of despair that had once threatened to consume me began to recede, replaced by a tender, healing energy that seemed to whisper promises of renewal and hope. Every fiber of my being vibrated with the resonance of that sacred light. Although the voices of the void were still present, they no longer felt hostile. Instead, they became a distant murmur, a reminder that even in the deepest silence, there's a language of divine truth waiting to be heard. I sensed that this passage was not merely a descent into the unknown, but a profound transformation, a sacred transition from a life governed by earthly limits to one that embraced the infinite love and guidance of the divine. As I continued to float in this radiant space, I felt the first stirrings of destiny, a call to awaken and to carry a message that would soon change everything I once held certain. In that boundless realm where physical limitations vanished, I found myself enveloped by a light so pure and gentle that it seemed to melt away every remnant of fear and uncertainty. The radiant glow, which had emerged as a beacon amidst the darkness, now grew ever brighter, transforming the void into a sanctuary of warmth and unconditional love. I felt as if I were being cradled by the very essence of compassion itself. As I surrendered to this divine embrace, an overwhelming sensation of healing coursed through me. Every wound, every sorrow, every doubt that had ever burdened my soul was tenderly soothed by the presence before me. It was as though the light carried with it a message, that no matter how heavy the pain or how deep the despair, redemption and renewal were always within reach. I was not abandoned. I was chosen, and in that sacred moment, I understood that my life was destined for something far greater than I had ever imagined. The divine presence spoke to me, not in words, but through a language of pure emotion and profound insight. In the depths of my heart, I heard the assurance that I was meant to be a beacon for others, that my journey was intricately woven into a larger tapestry of hope and transformation. The ethereal embrace conveyed a promise of guidance, of a mission that was both urgent and deeply personal. I realized that my existence, once so ordinary and predictable, was now intertwined with the destiny of a world in need of light. The boundaries between time and space seemed to blur as I became fully immersed in this transcendent experience. I sensed echoes of ancient prophecies and timeless wisdom, merging with the pulse of a modern world that so desperately needed healing. In that sacred union of past and present, I felt empowered to carry the message of divine love and spiritual awakening to every corner of my being and beyond. In that transformative moment, I knew that my soul had been forever altered. I was no longer the person I once was. I was reborn, a vessel of divine truth with a purpose that reached far beyond my earthly existence. The intensity of that luminous embrace left me trembling with anticipation, and as the light pulsed around me, I understood that the journey ahead would be one of both great challenges and immeasurable beauty. Emerging from the sanctity of that divine light, my consciousness was thrust into a vision that reshaped my understanding of reality. I found myself standing at the edge of a sprawling American metropolis, a city unlike any I had ever seen. Its towering skyscrapers and neon-lit avenues radiated an aura of order and modernity, yet beneath the glittering surface lay a profound, almost imperceptible melancholy. In this vision, the city was divided by an unseen line. On one side, its inhabitants bore a subtle mark, a symbol of conformity and submission to a system that had slowly stripped away their true essence. Their eyes, once full of life and possibility, now appeared vacant, hollow reflections of souls that had surrendered to a relentless pursuit of material gain. Every billboard, every digital display bore the insignia. It was everywhere, quietly enforcing uniformity that left little room for individuality or the spark of divine wonder. Yet, amidst this sea of controlled order, I also saw pockets of resistance. I witnessed groups of unmarked individuals, their faces glowing with a quiet defiance and an inner light that no force of conformity could ever extinguish. They moved through the city's labyrinth of streets with a purpose, their hearts still attuned to the call of something eternal and true. The contrast was stark. One side a testament to the cold efficiency of a system built on fear, the other a reminder that the human spirit, when ignited by divine love, can never be truly subdued. In that surreal moment, the vision unfolded like a prophecy. A choice lay before every soul. The mark was not simply a tool of control. It was a mirror reflecting the state of one's inner being, a choice between succumbing to the pressures of an indifferent world or embracing a higher, liberating truth. I felt the weight of this revelation deep within me, as if every heartbeat resonated with the urgency of the divine message. The cityscape pulsed with duality, the gleaming facades of modernity juxtaposed against the raw, unfiltered expressions of human vulnerability. It was a world teetering on the edge of transformation, where the balance between submission and freedom hung by a fragile thread. I realized then that the vision was not meant to condemn, but to awaken, to remind every soul that even in the midst of overwhelming conformity, there remains an unquenchable light of hope and redemption. If you feel this stirring in your heart, I invite you to join in this conversation. Please leave your name and the city you're watching from in the comments below, so that in our next video, we can send you a personal, heartfelt greeting. Your story is a beacon for our growing community, and together, we illuminate the path to a higher truth. I awoke from the visionary depths with a new sense of purpose coursing through my veins. The familiar surroundings of my humble home in Maplewood felt both comforting and alien, transformed by the echoes of the divine message that still reverberated in my soul. In the quiet moments after my return, as I clutched the hands of my dear friend Grace, who had rushed to my side, I felt a renewed clarity. My near-death encounter was not an end, but a call to a sacred mission. Every detail of that ethereal experience, the soft, all-encompassing light, the chorus of distant whispers, and the vivid vision of a divided world, spoke to me of a future where every soul would be faced with a life-altering choice. I realized that the darkness I had momentarily encountered was not to be feared, but understood as part of the eternal dance between light and shadow. It was a reminder that in every trial lies an opportunity to awaken, to reclaim the divine spark within us all. In the days that followed, I found myself driven by an inner fire, a burning desire to share the truth that had been so powerfully revealed. I began to speak with quiet urgency at our community gatherings, recounting the profound insights I had received. I told of a world on the brink of transformation, a world where the choices we make echo through eternity. I urged those who listened to open their hearts to the possibility of redemption, to embrace the light even when the shadows seem overwhelming. The divine encounter had not only healed the deepest parts of my being, but it had also equipped me with the courage to stand before others and declare that hope is never lost. I saw in the eyes of those I spoke to a glimmer of the same inner light that had saved me, a spark that, once kindled, could ignite a revolution of compassion and spiritual awakening. Every story of struggle, every tear of sorrow, and every moment of quiet resilience became a testament to the eternal promise of divine love. In this pivotal moment, I embraced the truth that my life was now a vessel for a message far greater than my own. I was destined to be a messenger, a guiding light in a world teetering on the edge of darkness and redemption. With each breath, I felt the divine urging me forward, confident that the journey ahead would not be walked alone. The path was uncertain, yet I stepped forward with faith and determination, knowing that every challenge carried the seed of transformation. I had been given a gift, a sacred vision that would forever shape the destiny of those willing to listen. In the weeks and months that followed my awakening, I found myself straddling two realities. On one hand, there was the ordinary world I had once known, familiar streets, the comforting hum of daily life, and a community that had embraced me for all my simplicity. On the other, there lay a realm of profound spiritual truth, a luminous yet demanding vision of what our future could become if we chose to live in accordance with a higher purpose. I wandered through my hometown and beyond, witnessing moments of breathtaking beauty and heart-rending sorrow. I saw families coming together in quiet acts of love, neighbors extending kindness in unexpected ways, and individuals daring to defy a system that threatened to erase their unique light. Yet, I also saw the heavy cost of surrender, a society where the pressure to conform left many hollow, their eyes dimmed by the weight of a relentless system that prized uniformity over the spark of individuality. Every encounter reminded me that the divine message I had received was both a blessing and a burden. It called me to be an example of hope and courage in a world that often seemed indifferent to the eternal. There were days when the memories of my near-death vision would resurface in vivid detail. The radiant glow that had rescued me from the abyss, the profound silence of the void, and the echoing call of destiny. These recollections propelled me forward, even when the challenges of the everyday seemed insurmountable. In sharing my journey with those around me, I discovered a community of seekers, a collective spirit that refused to let the harsh realities of the world extinguish the divine light within. Together, we nurtured the belief that every choice matters, that each small act of love, every moment of courage, contributes to the healing of our shared soul. And though the path was often steeped in uncertainty, the promise of renewal shimmered in the distance, like a guiding star. As I continued on this sacred mission, I learned that embracing both light and shadow was essential to understanding the fullness of our existence. The contrasts of life, the interplay of joy and pain, hope and despair, became the canvas upon which our true humanity was painted. With every step, I carried the weight of the vision, yet also the lightness of knowing that divine love was a constant, unwavering presence in my heart. If you believe in the transformative power of this journey, I invite you to stand with us. Please subscribe and leave a like on our channel, dear community. We share these messages not for profit, but because we are driven by love and the desire to make a difference. Every subscription, every like is a step toward a brighter future, one we build together. Now, as I stand on the threshold of a new day, my soul brims with both the weight of destiny and the lightness of hope. The final vision has woven itself into every fiber of my being, a testament to the eternal choice that lies before us all. In the heart of a reimagined cityscape where modernity intertwines with the divine, I witnessed a convergence of light and shadow that spoke directly to the essence of our humanity. The city around me pulsed with a renewed energy, a vibrant reminder that even amidst the challenges of conformity and the remnants of a system built on fear, there exists an enduring power in the human spirit. I saw faces illuminated by the soft glow of dawn, hearts open and receptive to the call of something far greater than themselves. It was a place where the choices of yesterday met the promises of tomorrow, and every soul was invited to step into a new chapter of redemption and grace. In that moment of sublime clarity, I understood that the ultimate revelation was not one of despair, but of profound possibility. The divine message that had carried me through darkness was now a beacon of hope, a call for each of us to embrace our inner light and rise above the forces that seek to diminish our true essence. I felt a deep, unwavering conviction that every decision, every act of love, held the power to transform not only our individual lives, but the very fabric of our world. This is the path forward, a journey that asks us to choose between surrender and liberation, between the empty promises of a system that values uniformity and the radiant truth of our unique, divine nature. I stand as living proof that even when confronted with the abyss, one can emerge reborn, guided by a love that knows no bounds. My mission is clear: to share this revelation with every soul willing to listen, and to light the way for those still searching for a spark of truth. And now, as our shared story comes to this pivotal moment, I invite you to continue walking this path with me. Click on the video appearing on your screen to discover the next life-revealing message, a message that may very well change everything you think you know about hope, destiny, and the power of divine love. Thank you so much for staying with me until the very end of this video. Your time and presence mean the world, and I truly appreciate you joining me on this journey. I hope the message resonated with you and brought a spark of inspiration to your day. As you step into this new week, I wish you endless joy, peace, and moments of divine guidance. May God walk with you, blessing every step you take and filling your days with light and hope. Have a wonderful week ahead, and know that you are deeply appreciated. Amam.